Beth, it was in this home right behind me where the co-workers of Fred Ponca found him dead this morning after he didn't show up for work. Now, I spoke with a lot of his neighbors who said he was truly a good man. Take a look behind me. This is the building that caught fire about 11:45. We're going to take a little bit of a walk here so you can see the actual damage.
Hola, me llamo Alexis. ¿Necesita ayuda? Something as simple as introducing yourself or asking someone if they need help.
Aaron Scott, this has been a tough 24 hours for Malik Drummond's family. Right now, Jeff Clifton is in the White County Detention Center being held for capital murder as well as abuse of a corpse.
Alexis Rogers now with us. She's in Little Rock at the GOP Super Party Tuesday. Alexis, you there?
Yes, I'm here. We're here downtown at Gusano's, which is a really popular place to have watch parties. And the big win tonight on the Democratic side was Hillary Clinton, which didn't come as a surprise to many as she served 18 years here in Arkansas. But the Republican side, very, very different, a very close race. Good evening, I'm Alexis Rogers. We're just moments away from the Arkansas Derby, one of the biggest attractions for Hot Springs all year long. In Pine Bluff, one man is very lucky he didn't get hurt or killed as a large tree fell right in the middle of his home. You can see it right there on the screen. Authorities say it's not the result of a tornado, but a lightning strike. Raymond Martin, who owns that home, says his brother was inside the home when the tree fell. Happening right now, Little Rock police are on the scene of a shooting. It happened right off of West 23rd Street. We have a crew headed to the scene, and we will continue to update you as we get more information. Thomas was struck by the gunfire and later died at a local hospital. Anyone with any information is asked to call police. I always get a little nervous when I see rain because, I know when it's raining beforehand because my hair starts to blow up. So that's how it goes. Bad hair day.
It takes all that pollen and dumps it on your car.
Oh my goodness. Another car wash. You're going to wash my car? Think on that. While he thinks on that, it's Easter weekend and many people are out enjoying Easter egg hunts across the state.
The sound of rickety steps is the last known trace of 59-year-old Rockland Rationer.
This must have been Tuesday, and my husband was saying, it's odd that we hadn't heard from Rock the last couple of days, because usually it's no more than 2 or 3 days.
Rock, as her friends call her, hasn't been seen since Thursday. Gail Price, Rationer's friend of more than 40 years, says she was excited about her job at Plant Services. She wouldn't just not show up for work.
It just appears as though she was in the middle of getting ready for work. The last Facebook post from her was about 7:48 that morning. She was due at work at 9.
Odd timestamps isn't the only thing that's worrying loved ones and investigators.
And we looked inside the house and unable to locate anybody. The odd thing was that we did notice that her purse, her keys, valuables were still inside the residence. The door was locked and her car was parked out in the parking lot.
Her clothes were laid out as though she was getting ready for work. And even her teeth were in the little cup, with her little false teeth were in the cup. So we know she's not going anywhere without those teeth.
Some questioned why it took police so long to consider Rationer missing.
Just because the public doesn't know what we're doing, we are working behind the scenes to try to find, because it is someone's loved one, and that's the way we treat it.
Price says she just wants her friend back.
I just hope she comes home. No matter what has happened, she's a survivor. She's not by any means a perfect person, and she's had a complicated life, and she's overcome a lot, and she'll overcome this too.
Now, friends tell me they'll continue to be hopeful and pass out flyers with these pictures on them in hopes of finding her. Back to you, Beth.
He didn't do anything wrong. He did everything right. He set the stage for success for the next leader to come in and move us the direction we want to go.
Education Commissioner Johnny Key, along with current LRSD Superintendent Baker Curris, addressed the public today. Key standing by his hire of Bentonville Superintendent Michael Poore. For the job, Curris will leave on June 30th. I did some digging. According to Key's estimate, Poore will be making $225,000, which is upwards of $75,000 more than Curris made. Dexter Suggs made $202,000, which is also less than Poore's expected salary. There have been 6 LRSD superintendents in the last 10 years. Curris says the district has been mischaracterized.
Simply because you're disorganized doesn't mean you don't have a good team. it means you got to get organized.
As we sat down with parents, many had mixed emotions.
Which is about the funding and bringing together the budget and other items that don't directly connect to education. That's where I and other folks like me have a problem.
At Rockefeller, our parents are getting yanked all over the place. I found out from a reporter that suddenly our school is going to be closed. And just all that turmoil. I'm just sick of the turmoil. It's exhausting.
The conversation at both our sit-down and the press conference coming back to the question of charter schools and the state's intentions.
It's about money. You're talking about $330 million. That is a big incentive to get an agenda passed. You can't get any more Walmart than Bentonville. And so this is
he's bringing Walmart with him.
He's bringing the Walton Foundation with him to back everything he does.
Is that right?
Michael Poore will take over as Little Rock superintendent beginning July 1st. We have an exclusive interview with Poore tomorrow night right here on Channel 7.
Beth, we pride ourselves on being on our viewers' sides, and many people wanted to know who Michael Poore is, so we went to Bentonville to try to find out.
While decision makers are eager for future LRSD Superintendent Michael Poore, everyone from lawmakers to LRSD parents want to know who Michael Poore is.
Please don't come in and immediately do anything. Please assess what is going on.
So we hit the road to get your questions answered. We were scheduled to talk to Poore one-on-one. About 2.5 hours into our 3.5-hour trip, we get a call. Poore chose to cancel the interview, but we still had to answer your questions. So we caught up with Brent Lease and Grant Lytle, who are on the Bentonville School Board, to learn more about Poore.
Mike is a very community-oriented individual. He loves to, sit down and hear people out. He doesn't form an opinion until he's heard all points of view.
But I do know that Mike believes in innovation, and I think he believes that if something's not working, you have to try other things.
While Bentonville is growing, Little Rock is trying to attract more to the district, which is why parents have questioned Poore's intentions with the Walton Foundation.
Do you think that's going to be a relationship that he's going to bring with him to Little Rock?
Yeah, I'd be upset with him for not bringing that relationship.
It's like if you had a 3-13 football team and you put somebody in as the head coach, they're not going to the Super Bowl the next year, and you have to kind of look and see, are they making positive progress, and are they doing the right things?
Poore will start on July 1st. Back to you, Beth.
You never know where it's coming from.
Vincent Miller takes pride in cleaning up parks in Little Rock.
Is that Ducky down there?
For not only himself,
Ducky! Duck, 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 duck. So
but for those who live in the park too.
Duck, 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 Ducky! He already swimming toward me up over there at that bank.
Mounds of trash gets pushed downstream and can be found beside Fush Creek.
And that one has broken. That one has broken because usually it would be connected to this side, somewhere to this tree here, or to something that anchors it over on this side to keep the debris back this way.
After a big storm, Miller tells us it's very normal to see miles and miles of trash from one park to another along Fush Creek.
After a while, it gets old because, we want our place. This is where we live, so we want it to, look nice.
Residents are not surprised. And quite frankly, are fed up.
If people would do a better job in taking their trash with them, then there wouldn't be a lot of trash out here.
Miller says cleaning up this large of a mess takes time.
This here is a whole week or two job to pick all this stuff up. Because if I just concentrate on one area like this here, I wouldn't get nothing done in the other parts.
The city says it's aware of the problem, which is why they hope to reel in the community's help.
And I try to pick up some trash, it's just that I know I'm only one person, I can't get it all.
There's always something to do. So just might as well go it on and do it.